Here's the thing. Even though you might hear a little more complaining than I normally do in an airline review, don't let that dissuade you. EVA Air 7879 business class is very, very good. It was also very easy to nitpick, and, well, let's just get into it. Personally, I can't think of a better way to kick off an EVA Air business class review than to do it from their home base here at the Taiwan Airport in Taipei. This is Terminal 2, and I've got to be honest, despite its flaws, it's one of my favorite in all of Asia. Anyway, this is Scott from SANspotter.com, by the way. Despite my flaws, I'd like to think that I know a thing or two about choosing the best possible flight option between two major cities. Case in point, I'm here to fly up to Seoul in EVA Air 7879 business class, and to this day, I stand by my decision to choose this flight over anything else. But don't take my word for it. You'll see. So, yeah, this is Terminal 2. The fancy part, at least. The gate areas don't look anything like this, which is part of the reason why I find this terminal to be so interesting. All EVA Air business class passengers flying out of Taipei get complimentary access to the EVA Air Lounge, located on the second level here in T2. And I know, I've said time and again that my interest in airline lounges is wearing off, but basically, I was really hungry, and I'm never one to turn down a free meal. The chicken and rice is excellent in this lounge, as are the fruit smoothies. This was my third one, I think. Anyway, in summary, this is a fairly decent lounge with good food and mostly open seating. It was a challenge to find a spot totally secluded from everyone else, though, but yeah, I totally nailed it. Now we're getting to the fun part of Terminal 2. Most gates are located on the lower level. The one for my flight up to Seoul was going out of C5. And speaking of that flight to Seoul, here is the 7879 that will take me there, arriving exactly on time from Japan. And yes, that is a special livery. At least I think it is. You see, there are only 4 7879s in the EVA Air fleet at the time of this video, all of which feature this livery, which is different from the livery on other aircraft, so I think it's a special livery? I don't know. Anyway, things are looking pretty good down here in the basement, and I think we're actually gonna get out of here on time today. At this point, I had no idea what to expect. I booked this ticket not knowing anything about EVA Air 7879 business class, other than the chances of it being bad, or at least disappointing, being non-existent. I've flown EVA Air several times in the past, and I like this airline. And of all the flights from Taipei to Seoul on this particular day, this one seemed the most interesting. So let's just say that I was feeling optimistic. Alrighty then. I would definitely say that choosing the EVA 7879 was the right move. What do you think? Holy crap, this is nice. And this character on the pillow, if you didn't know, is Guritama. Not gonna lie though, I actually thought it was a Pepperidge Farm goldfish at first. Anyway, back to the seats. This is 6A, and as you can see, this is a staggered setup with the even-numbered seats positioned away from the window. It's an extremely spacious 1-to-1 layout, which looks very high-end in my opinion. Not what I was expecting at all. And privacy is quite good thanks to these protruding wings or extensions near the headrests. It kind of makes sitting in these seats feel like a secluded pod-like experience. It's pretty cool. And yes, the tech is fairly impressive as well. From electrical outlets to a multitude of seat controls, including a really good massage function, it's not a bad place to be stuck for hours on end. They've even got you covered with generously sized storage bins, one of which includes a pretty awesome pair of noise-canceling headphones, which I'll show you later. Capping off the pre-flight experience was the hot towel service. This is self-service, by the way. They won't do the wiping for you. It's now 3:23 p.m., and I made two interesting discoveries as we were pushing off the gate. First, I had no idea that there was an outdoor observation deck here. Noted for next time. Second, these floor-mounted footrests, which I somehow didn't notice before, should be standard equipment on all airlines, I think. This is comfy. Oh, and I just want to take this moment to give a shout-out to Luca. Your parents told me that you just celebrated your 3rd birthday, so happy belated birthday, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. The scheduled flying time up to Seoul is just 1 hour and 57 minutes, which, if everything goes to plan, should be just the right amount of time to get the full EVA Air business class experience. The cabin crew has been absolutely on it so far. They've already taken meal orders, drink requests, and have nearly bent over backwards to make sure that everyone was comfy and all settled in. Does this seem as polished and perfect as what I recently experienced in Starlux Airlines business class? No. Is there anything wrong with that? Nope. Starlux is on a completely different level in my opinion, and based on what I'm seeing so far, it seems as if having stiff competition has caused EVA Air to level up their own business class game. Not that it was bad before, but I am noticing a fairly significant improvement in onboard service since my last EVA flight, which was pre-pandemic. It's amazing what a little competition can do to make an already great airline even better. I've got two questions for you as we climb out of Taipei. First, does it make me sound whiny to say that I don't like the electronically controlled tinted window thing on the Boeing 787? And second, are complimentary slippers for a 2-hour flight even necessary? Wait, I know the answer to that one. You're darn right it is. I especially like how they match the color of the seats. Moving on. Sterilized noise-canceling headphones? Thanks. They sounded really good, and even though I don't intend to compare everything to Starlux, they didn't seem to sound as good as the headphones that Starlux provides. And even though the in-flight entertainment system features a really clean and intuitive UI, it didn't blow me away like it did on that other airline. The catalog of TV shows and movies seemed similar, though, to be honest, I didn't dig into it that deeply due to the short duration of the flight. There's also a touchscreen remote control, which seemed okay. It was a bit laggy, but I much preferred interacting directly with that huge video screen. It didn't seem all that interested in interacting with me, though. Maybe I wasn't touching it right. I don't know. As I mentioned earlier, meal orders were taken verbally before departure, and there were no printed menus. 2 options were available, chicken or a vegetarian pasta dish, I believe, and they kicked things off with a decently tasty shrimp salad. And of course, I chose the chicken. And as much as I would have preferred rice, I gotta be honest, the potatoes were a decent match for this baked chicken dish. This was good. Maybe not as good as what that other airline was serving, but chicken is chicken. I've got no beef with this. Minor complaint here. They never once turned off the cabin lights. They were on for the entire duration of the flight, even though they did dim all of the windows. Now, in their defense, this is a typical thing on regional flights within Asia, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't have preferred a darker cabin after the meal service. Especially since I was hoping to take a quick nap. Oh well. It ended up being a non-issue though, since I did find the seat to be a wee bit uncomfortable in a half-reclined state. The seat pan angled down, which made it feel like I had to hold myself up with my feet to prevent from sliding out. So that's why I'm here in the forward lavatory trying to get more content for this review. The only thing worth mentioning is that the seat in here did a much better job of holding me in at odd angles. Is it a coincidence that they handed me this pre-landing treat just as I was about to sum up the experience? Maybe, but as you're about to hear, buttering me up to say nice things wasn't really necessary. I know, I complained a lot more in this video than usual. At least it may have seemed that way, but the only reason for it was because I feel like I needed to be a little bit more critical than usual. The fact of the matter is that the Taiwanese airline market has become extremely competitive over the past few years. Starlux has put pressure on both China Airlines and EVA Air, which is a great thing for consumers. The result? I am happy to report that I could sense a noticeable improvement in onboard service compared to my last EVA Air experience, which was pre-pandemic. The cabin crew was very proactive, the seat was excellent, though maybe not when reclined halfway, and the food was pretty good. Starlux is still the best choice in my opinion, but EVA Air is still my number 2 option when flying to or from Taipei. Anyway, welcome to South Korea. We've arrived 17 minutes late here at the Incheon Airport in Seoul, and I'm not even the slightest bit perturbed about it. It was a really good flight at a really good price. I paid less than $500 for this, which, I know, sounds spendy compared to what you can get economy class for. I found it to be a really good deal for what was essentially a world-class international business class product, but here's the truth. I only did this because I review airlines for a living. I needed the content. But if I had to do it again, I think I'd save a little money and go with premium economy instead. That review is coming, eventually, someday. But until then, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.